Hi everyone! Today I'm actually going to be filming my July TBR for you. I know on this channel we've actually never filmed a TBR, we decided it'd be a bit of fun. So I have quite a few books to show you because Booktubeathon actually happens in July, and I'm going to be traveling for 2 weeks. So I'm sure a lot of you know, but just in case, I do read quite a lot of books every month, like I would say on average about 20 per month. So I know I'm going to show you a lot of books today, but I do hope to get to all of them, so fingers crossed. So I'm actually going to start with the books that I plan to read during Booktubeathon. And Booktubeathon this year happens from July 24th until July 30th, and we don't know the challenges for this year's yet, but every year, one of the challenges is always read 7 books in 7 days. So I'm actually going to be on a road trip with my mother and attending my best friend's wedding, so I might not have as much time to read, but I'm still gonna give it a go. The first book I plan to pick up is Kisses and Curses, and this is a short story anthology by a lot of YA authors that I've been meaning to read for a long time. I think there are 14 short stories in here, and there's like Leigh Bardugo, Marissa Meyer, all sorts of people have written stories for this collection, and I think it'd be good to kind of just like read a short story or 2 short stories a day, and that will help me get through another book. Then I'm going to pick up Things I'm Seeing Without You by Peter Bognanni. This book actually comes out in September of this year, and it seems like a pretty hard-hitting contemporary that I'm going to keep me turning the pages. It might be a bit intense to read when I'm on a road trip, but I'm gonna try. And then I have Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. I have been meaning to read this book for literally years, so it's about time, and I've read the first 2 books while on road trips as well, so I think it's an apt time to do this. I think it's just going to be cute and fun, and hopefully a nice palate cleanser after that last intense contemporary read. Next, I have a fairly short fantasy book, and that is The Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury. Again, a book I've owned for quite a while and need to get through, and because it's only just over 200 pages long, I decided to pick it up. I actually don't know a lot about what this is. I think the main character is an executioner in a palace, which sounds very interesting, so I'm excited to get to this one. Next, I have Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. We went and saw Neil Gaiman speak in Seattle shortly after this book was released, and it was wonderful, and he read a story from it. I've been really excited to read this, so I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet, and I think it'll be a great read for July. And finally, for Booktubeathon, I'm gonna pick Whenever I'm With You by Lydia Sharp. Now this is a contemporary romance that I think is a road trip, so I think this will be perfect. This is an arc that I got quite a while ago. The font is really tiny, but it's really short, and I hope it's just a fun and quick little read. So that's all the books I wanted to read during Booktubeathon, but I have 3 weeks before Booktubeathon even starts. So to start with, I'm gonna pick up Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. This has been a highly anticipated book ever since I read the first book in the series, The Savage Song, last summer, and I cannot wait to jump into this world and the conclusion of this world, which makes me sad but excited. Next, I have As You Wish by Cary Elwes. Now, I actually haven't seen The Princess Bride. Don't hurt me. But I've heard this book is really good, and it's going to motivate me to watch the movie, and then right after I can read this book. I think it'll be a really quick one to get through, and I've heard it's really funny. Next, I have another short story collection, and this is Games, Creatures, Play, and I bought this specifically because there's a short story by Brandon Sanderson in it, and I actually haven't read the short story that's in here, which I've read pretty much everything else that Brandon Sanderson has written, so I'm pretty excited. And there's also Shauna McGuire is a new recent favorite, so I'm excited to read that story as well. And I think picking up short story collections is a great way to get through a few more books a month, because I'm just going to read 1 or 2 a day, and I feel like I'm making good progress. And then I have Morningstar by Pierce Brown. This is the 3rd and final book in the Red Rising trilogy, and I only want to read this really because I don't want to forget what happened in the first 2 books, because it's kind of a complicated sci-fi world. I didn't love the first 2 books, but the second book was definitely an improvement, and it ended on a cliffhanger, so I'm definitely going to pick this up in July before I forget what's going on. Then I have Under a Painted Sky by Stacey Lee. Now this is a historical fiction novel about 2 sisters in the 1800s. It's such a beautiful looking book, and I've heard fairly positive things about the story itself. Again, I don't know too much about it, but I'm one of those people that doesn't like to read synopsis before I read the books, so this will be an interesting one to get to, and I do like reading historical fiction from time to time. And finally, I have a big one. Now this is like climbing Mount Everest, this one, guys, but I have David Copperfeild by Charles Dickens. So last year I actually read Great Expectations, I read Oliver Twist, and I read The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and I really liked Great Expectations and didn't really like the other 2 books, but I'm willing to give another one a shot. Now I actually have the audiobook of this, so I'm gonna try to read it that way and see how it goes. If I don't like the audiobook, I'll just pick up this one. But I mean, it's almost 900 pages long, so I'm gonna kind of read it throughout the month of July, I think. And I think it'll be when I read big classics like this, I feel like a sense of accomplishment when I finish them. So that's kind of my pat on the back for a summer classic. All right, so that is 12 of the books I hope to finish in July. I do hope to get through a few more than the regular 12, as that would be pretty low for me. But yeah, we'll see. We're doing a lot of traveling, a lot of events, so fingers crossed I can get through these at least. If you'd like us to do a TBR video every month, let us know in the comments down below, because it's definitely something we can do. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Happy reading, and thanks for being awesome. Bye!